Shalom. First off, I want to start up by saying all praises, honor, and glory is due to Yahweh by Hashem Yahushua, by Hashem HaKadosh. That's all praises to the Warcast God, whose true name in the Hebrew is Yahweh, by Hashem in the name of Yahushua being the name of the only begotten Son. Also want to say double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone, peace and mercy to the hopeful like preaching this word and truth and sincerity on the brother Tazabah of the Great Millstone, Arizona camp. Lord will. Another lesson to edify in the spirit and power of Yahweh Shemi Ashai. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone. Peace and mercy to the hopeful elect. Yeah, let's get into this, man. Because one thing's for sure is as more and more of these prophecies start coming to pass, as more and more of the things that our elders and our apostles, our teachers taught us that these things would come down, it's going to be more and more relevant in people's eyes to know that, what the elders and apostles of Great Millstone were saying is 100% on point. There's no evading it anymore. There's no evading. Niggas used to sit here and scoff, talk stuff, and man, I wish I could remember exactly how the scripture said, but the scriptures talk about the Lord was going to cause everybody's mouth to shut, and we're seeing that happen in this time, right? We're seeing that happen in this time where the Lord is literally closing niggas' mouth up, where they can't say nothing. They can't come against what we preaching. All they can try to do is sit here and hope in futility that they could save Esau somehow. Because then, if they could save Esau, then all the bullshit that these niggas have been doing this whole time, even though they've been told to do better, to walk in the fear of the Lord, then they can be saved as they are. But that shit ain't happening, man. This is Ezekiel 33 and 33. It says, and when this come to pass, lo, it will come. Then shall they know that a prophet have been among them. And we're seeing what our elders and apostles taught us. And I've been in the truth like 10 years, right? This is me going just 10 years back. There's men that have been around for 25, 30 years and been taught the same things. So what we've been told by our elders and our apostles and us building upon another man's labor and teaching the same things, those things are happening now. So let's play this. We'll get into this, and Lord will it all be edifying. Now, all this could be partial, like I say, LA looking like a war zone. I mean, this is just a small segment of something. So you don't even know the totality of this. But all this could just be, like Dave said, theatrics and practicality, right? Powerful agents to the uninitiated, but we are initiated, aren't we, Bruce? Right? To people that ain't informed about how Esau really rolls, this shit could look like it's intense as hell. And when they look at this so-called intense snippet, right, it's going to justify Esau's action, and that's what he's doing. Right? These devils have been sitting here hemming up the northern kingdom. Terrible ways, man. Breaking up whole families. All that. With no remorse. Like the scriptures say, the Lord was going to set over them. Let's get it, man. No, I'm probably typing it in wrong. It's Isaiah 19. Isaiah 19 and 4. It says that in the Egyptians will I give into the hand of a cruel Lord, and a fierce king shall rule over them, say Yahweh, Yahweh of hosts. You see? And that cruel king, that cruel Lord, Esau Edom, because it tells you in the curses, he shall not reverence. This is or is it not regard? Yeah. This is Deuteronomy 28 and 49. It says, Yahweh shall bring a nation against thee from far, from the end of the earth, as swift as the eagle flieth. A nation whose tongue thou shalt not understand. And this is when we got taken down by the, this is in its perfection. It's really when we got taken down by the through the Greco-Roman Empire, man. Alexander the Great came in, and then you had all his wicked ass generals, right? Verse 50, a nation of fierce countenance, which shall not regard the person of the old, nor show favor to the young. And they don't care. These devils ain't caring. They him and Jacob, full families. They working together, right? Not committing no crimes. They don't care. They don't care, man. They've been doing a damn thing. Let's get this one. And now you got the Northern Kingdom bucking up tough. All right. I think I had another video saved. Get this article right here and get some other stuff. It's a lot of information that I'm going to be grabbing, man. It says Trump deploys National Guard as Los Angeles protests against immigration agents continue. And what did he do this after? Right after he sat there and passed law. Right here, it says Department of Defense Secretary for the Protection of Department of Homeland Security Functions. It says Department of Defense Secretary for Protection. Numerous incidents of violence and disorder have recently occurred and threatened to continue in response to the enforcement of federal law by the U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement (ICE) and other U.S. state government personnel who are performing federal functions and supporting the faithful execution of the federal immigration law. In addition, violent protests threaten the security of and significant damage to federal immigration detention facilities and other federal property, to the extent that protests or acts of violence directly inhibit execution of the laws. They constitute a form of rebellion against the authority of the government of the United States. And that's what? Sedition among men. Right? And they're telling them that they're giving him the right to pull in 200,000 National Guard troops for the duration of 60 days, and that a state would have to submit a request to remove them if it's before that 60 days. Now, remember, there was a 90-day goal. This might just be hinging on that 90-day goal. This might just be one of the first parts. So back to this other article, right? They came in full-fledged. Man. Flashbangs, tear gas, full military combat uniform, right? And you got the Northern Kingdom going through it first, and Jake don't understand the scriptures. The scriptures reign true. Remember, let me get this, man. Ecclesiastes 1:9. It says, the thing that had been is that which shall be, and that which is done is that which shall be done, and there is no new thing under the sun. Nothing new under the sun. Everything that happened in the past is going to be happening now. And what happened in the past? Always in this other Bible. Let me get it, man. This is Jeremiah 50:33. It says, thus say Yahweh of hosts, the children of Israel and the children of Judah were oppressed together. You see? The children of Judah and the children of Israel going into the Northern Kingdom, your Latinos and Native Americans, and in the Southern Kingdom, Judah, Benjamin, and Levi. Right? They were oppressed together. And all that took them captives, held them fast, they refused to let them go. So that which was before is now. Right? I got this. Where is it at? Still got it up, yep. I just put a simple Google search. Times in America when Mexicans were deported indiscriminately. Right? A major period in American history where Mexicans were indeterminately deported was during the Great Depression, roughly from 1929 to 1936. This era is also known as Mexican repatriation. Right? Economic motivation, facing widespread unemployment, which was happening now, and economic hardship, many Americans blame Mexican immigrants and Mexican Americans for taking jobs that they felt should go to native-born citizens. And they're doing the same shit now. Government policies. President Herbert Hoover administration implemented repatriation policies aiming to remove Mexicans and Mexican Americans from the U.S. and free up jobs. Secretary of Labor William N. Dweck was the key figure in prompting this policy. Widespread impact. Estimates vary, but between 300,000 and 2 million people of Mexican descent were affected, with some estimates suggesting that up to 1/3 of all Mexicans in the U.S. were repatriated by 1934. Crucially, a significant portion of those repatriated were U.S. citizens. You see, it didn't matter about your status here. It didn't matter. Yeah, Issachar, the Northern Kingdom that are here, they immigrated. Some of them got high on their horses. They really believed that Esau was going to be for their benefit. just like back then. And they thought they was above being oppressed by Esau because they hard working. They've been able to make some type of money. They got the right to sit here and do this and that, and then it all folded down on them. It says methods of removal, repatriation occurred through a combination of forced deportations and coerced voluntary departures. These included actions such as informal aids and roundups. Authorities, including local police and immigration officers, would raid public places, workplaces, and even hospitals, apprehending individuals based on their perceived Mexican heritage. That's the same shit that's happening now, right? Let's do this. Let's do this as an experiment. Let me do this. Look at this. Now, during Jim Crow, right, during the Great Depression, the same time where the Latinos were getting oppressed, right? Look what happened to Judah. It says during the Great Depressions, while not officially laws, prevalent discriminatory practices like Jim Crow segregation and the exclusion of African Americans from New Deal programs disproportionately harmed black communities. The New Deal, despite its goal of economic recovery, often excluded black Americans from its benefits, further exacerbating existing inequalities. Jim Crow segregation laws, New Deal programs, and racial discrimination, Agricultural Adjustment Act, and sharecropping. The Agricultural Adjustment Act, intended to reduce crop acreage, disproportionately impacted black sharecroppers, many of whom were forced off their land when landlords evicted them, according to the Amistad Digital Resources. It says exclusion from Social Security. Hey, and that's what they're about to do now. The Social Security Act, while providing a safety net for many, excluded agricultural and domestic workers, a large percentage of whom were black. That's what they doing fucking right now. So Jacob, you about to fucking go through it too. You about to go through it too. Lack of federal employment, unemployment, and discrimination. Black Americans were often the last hired, first fired, leading to a higher unemployment rates and greater economic hardship. Right? And a lot of the ugly shit that happened during the Great Depression, they don't tell you. They don't even put in the history books because these devils know what they were doing during that time was fucking brutal. And it's too much shame on them. So Judah, Israel, right? Let me go back to that actually, man. 1 second. Jeremiah 50 and 33, it says, thus say Yahweh of hosts, the children of Israel and the children of Judah were oppressed together. We gonna catch it at the same time. At the same time, man. Right now it's the northern kingdom, but soon it's gonna be on you Judah's ass. Right? Now I wanted to get this. A bro put it in the chat. And it hit. It hit. You can't deny it hit. Right? Where is this at? Second Ezra 15 and 16 in the GNT. Right? It says there will be great political turmoil with one group trying to overpower another and gain control. And that's what you're seeing. Right? That political turmoil is here. And that one group overpowering another. These Edomites trying to overpower the northern kingdom. The Israelites. Right? While ignoring the legitimate government. And that's the sedition among men. There shall no longer be free access to cities because the struggle for power will bring destruction, terror, and total confusion wherever people live. And that's what's happening. You got the National Guard coming in, flowing into these cities, right? And they're telling the governors of those cities that they can't kick the National Guard out or tell them to stand down because this is coming from an order from on high in the government talking about the president. They notice this bringing in National Guard troops is only going to heighten tensions, right? Because the struggle for power will bring destruction, terror, and total confusion wherever people live. Driven by famine and terrible suffering, people will assault their neighbors and mercilessly plunder their possessions. God says, I am calling together all the kings of the earth to come from the north, south, east, and west to turn back and to restore what they have taken. I'll pay them back with the same harsh treatment they have always given to my chosen people. The Lord says, I will use my power, and there will be no mercy for sinners. I will put to death all who have murdered innocent people. And that's going to be the end result of how this devil's coming down. You touching the Lord's people, whether or not these devils want to recognize it. But you, Jake, you got to recognize the time you're in. This ain't play, he, ha time. It's definitely serious. This is the time where whole generations could get wiped out. Jeremiah 30:5, it says, for thus saith Yahweh, we have heard a voice of trembling and of fear, and not of peace. Ask ye now, and see whether a man doth travail with child. Wherefore do I see every man with his hands on his loins, as a woman in travail, and all faces are turned into paleness. Meaning a great fearful time. People don't want to go to work, right? Because they're afraid that ICE might show up while they're on the job. People are sitting there worried about where they're going to be. They're trying to make escape routes in case something happens, right? You damn sure got people at home making plans. Well, if they come get me at work, this is what we going to do and this and that, right? Commit my phone number to memory. Keep this on you at all times. Says the last for that day is great, so that none is like it. It is even the time of Jacob's trouble, right? This is the time of Jacob's trouble, man. This is the time of Jacob's trouble. You can't avoid it. And our elders and apostles told us these things. We didn't get these things from Bishop Nate. At one point, Bishop Nate was sitting there saying Jacob's trouble wasn't going to come. It already passed. Now, we got this understanding, this breakdown from the elders and apostles of Great Millstone. 2 Ezra 16. And 68, it says, for behold, the burning wrath of a great multitude is kindled over you. You can see that. You got these ICE agents, these police officers coming up with masks on. Why do people cover their face? Because they know whatever they're about to do, they don't want it to come back to their home. For behold, the burning wrath of a great multitude is kindled over you, and they shall take away certain of you and feed you being idle with things offered unto idols, them concentration camps. And bro's been going into that Rex 84. I need to dig into that. I'm going to dig into that. Lord will. Right? But this is all a coordinated plan. It says, and they that consent unto them shall be had in derision and in reproach and trodden underfoot. For there shall be in every place and in the next cities a great insurrection upon those that fear the Lord. And that's what you see. There's an insurrection. There's a violent uprising against the Israelites, to the point where people can sit here and call America looking like a war zone, and you, Jake, are the target. It right now is the so-called Latinos, right? Pretty soon it's going to be you Judites, right? You Benjamites, right? You Levites. It's going to turn to you. That's in the scriptures. This is Revelation 13. And 11 it says, and I beheld another beast come out of this earth, and he had two horns like a lamb, and spake as a dragon. That said two-party system. That dragon goes back into the word Jacon, was a Greek lawgiver that gave the harsh treatment for minor offenses, man. That's what you're about to see. Martial law kicks in. That's what you're going to have to deal with, because that leopard is now watching over the cities. They're collecting data, and they're going to give a report, right? And say at this point, the only necessary response is something that's extremely violent, because these devils have turned to their law to justify everything. It says that in Second Wisdom of Solomon 2:11. Let our strength be the law of justice, for that which is feeble is found to be nothing worth. They're looking at Jake like, hey, if he had power to fight back, he would have some legal standing. And they know they're taking away every portion to have a legal standing. Right? This is it. This is it. Right? This is Psalms 94:20. It says, shall the throne of iniquity have fellowship with thee, who frame it mischief by a law? And that's what these devils have been doing. They're literally making sure that they bring the scenario where it causes the people to revolt, so they can bring a response and justify it. They're framing this mischief by a law. They know damn well how they're going about this. You got people that have been law-abiding citizens doing what they're supposed to be doing, coming in for court dates on time, right? And as soon as they leave the court, ICE, they're taking their asses away. These devils was on a fucking run. This is it, man. This is very much it. This place is going down, man. And take it serious. Shalom.